Have you ever shared something that really mattered to you and the other person just brushed it off? That moment isn't just frustrating. For many of us, it touches an old wound. When we've been punished, ignored, or dismissed in the past, our nervous system learns that being unheard means being unsafe. In this video, we're exploring how these wounds form and how you can start healing from within, so you no longer depend on others to feel seen or safe. Hello everybody, I'm Catriona Morten and I'm a sensory motor psychotherapist, and this is We Are Vega Therapy, where you learn to calm your body, quieten your mind and heal from within. Let's dive in. So today we're going to be looking at more specific trauma wounds, things that have really deeply impacted us when we're younger and that still play themselves out and impact our lives today. But most of these things we're not even aware of. And even if we're aware that they keep happening, we haven't got a clue where these things have come from and their origins or anything about them, just that it keeps happening. Now, when we talk about needs being met, today we're going to be talking about something a bit more specific, that what actually happens to us if we're not listened to, we're dismissed, we're ignored, we're humiliated, we're shamed. But it's more than just someone not really taking note of what we say. It's about the punishments, the reactions from the adults that are quite extreme on these things. So if we've been punished or shamed and humiliated for having an opinion or expressing an emotion, then that's a profound impact it has on us. It goes into a core wound of what makes up our very essence. If we're punished for things that were nothing to do with us, that nobody would ever listen to what we had to say, but unbeknownst to us, we're going to get the punishment, doesn't matter what we say or do. Those things are core trauma wounds. And as a result, as with anything to do with trauma, when it gets logged into our amygdala and hardwired into our nervous system, then it can be triggered. And so things that with someone that doesn't have a trauma history of that kind, if they get dismissed or somebody just brushes something off that they don't say or isn't really paying much attention to them, for someone without those trauma wounds, it's no big deal. It might be a bit annoying, but that's it. For someone with those core wounds, that if those things are present or they're not present, then that equals we're not safe. And if we're not safe, our nervous system's going off and we feel it through our core. It has a massive impact on us. And so for those people, if they're having an interaction with friends and family, it can be extremely triggering because people aren't always going to give the full attention to everything that's being said, or maybe not understand, or just be a little bit distracted. I've seen many relationships and friendships break up because of that. And it often leaves people mystified. It's like, well, what just went on there? Without realizing that that person, when they are dismissed or just brushed off, somebody's not listening to them, the whole nervous system is on fire, basically. And their fight, flight, or freeze response comes up. It's a way bigger deal, as is always the case with a trigger. When we know that there's a trigger, that it's coming with a lot of stuff from the past, because it's a way bigger deal than the context of what it should be. And the problem with a wound of this type is, unless we recognise, actually, that's a trigger in my body, I wonder what that could be about. I wonder where that could have come from. I wonder if that reaction that I'm having right now is familiar and kind of makes sense when I look back into what my life growing up was like, what my environment was like growing up. If we can go, yeah, do you know what? This is my stuff. This is a massive trigger. And no wonder when I look back at what happened to me, well, then we know the answer lies within, that the healing has to take place in here. Some things might need to be processed. Some things may need to just have a completely different outcome. Some things might just need really constant regulation and a kind of reprogramming of how we react and respond to things. Because unless we do that, then we always think that the blame lies with people that are around us, that if they would just show up more, if they would just pay attention more, if they would just listen to me more, it would be fine. But there's a key piece of that missing. Because if that was the case, then it would only take one time for someone to sit down and say, look, I really want to hear what you've got to say. I really want to understand it. The floor is yours. I'm just here as a sounding board. I'm here to just make sense of it and to, really understand what it is that you're trying to tell me. If that was the case, then that would be it. That would be sorted. But unfortunately, it doesn't, because it doesn't really go in. It can't heal that wound, especially if we're completely unaware that we have those wounds, and they lie in the felt sense in the body. And we would need it over and over and over again, and it doesn't heal those wounds. If anything, it's like a one thing that happened and it's gone, because we're not aware of what's going on for us. We're only aware of it when we don't get that, when the dismissal or the being ignored really triggers it. We're very, very aware of that, but we're not aware of it when we get it, because it's just like, well, that's what we need. That's normal interaction. And we can't organize our environment to suit us perfectly. And even if we try, the triggers are there. They would go off. We have to be able to understand actually what is happening and making sense of that's a trigger and that's from my background, that's from my past. It's coming from then. What's happening to me in the present moment? So learning how to track your body, learning how to recognize and tune in to what's actually happening, what goes on when your nervous system starts to fire up, what changes. And that gives us a big clue. If we can track and notice those things, then it gives us a clue as to what's needed. What's your body trying to do, or what's it trying to not do? Some things might need completion. And from a felt sense, understanding and emotional, putting all these things together, the understanding of what we're doing, the felt sense of where we feel it and what's happening, and the emotions that go with it. And we have to process, heal, help ourselves regulate, understand what's happening to us in order to feel better when one of those triggers goes off. The ideal would be, if these things are processed, a previous trigger would have gone off, no reaction in our nervous system. We're just left with, well, that was a bit rude, or well, that was vaguely annoying, but nothing else going off. The fireworks aren't going off. We don't feel terrified. We don't feel like we can't stay here, we can't stay in this relationship, we can't stay in this place, we've got to get out. We can just be really understanding of what's happening, not caught up in it, and more observing of, oh yeah, I can see what's going on here, and not just off and I have to go. So I hope that's helpful, makes sense, interesting. If this resonated with you, give the video a like and think about sharing it with someone that it might help too. And if you're ready to explore more about healing from within, hit subscribe, because we've got much more to come. Because I share weekly tools to help you slow down, tune in, and heal through the body. Because real healing doesn't start in the mind, it starts in the body. I'll see you again soon. Bye.